Beer Bob's Fishroom. Here's my 55 gallon. It's got the beams work full spectrum light on there. As you can tell, it grows a lot of algae. It's perfect, you know. In here, there's a ton of yellow shrimp. As you can see, there's a couple of reds. These guys are coming out today, going into another tank. But got a couple of autosynclius catfish in there, and then one albino bristlenose. These guys have been breeding pretty prolifically. They're just all over the place. So I have a ton of snails. Just a ton of snails. Ram's horn and bladder snails and pond snails and whatever else came on these plants. That's okay. I don't really care. Got a couple of plants. I need to get some more. But here's Java Fern Windelov, some red Ludwigia, more regular Java Fern covered in hair algae, hornwort. Just a ton of hornwort. It just keeps growing. I keep pulling it out, shoving it in other tanks. I got some really nice. There's a bronze crypt. There's some green crypts down there. I don't know. There's a little piece of this, not microsword, but dwarf hairgrass or something. And this guy here looks to be like it's a new green crypt. So that's kind of cool. That was unexpected. And then, as you can tell, lots and lots of duckweed. I can't get rid of it. You get it one time and it doesn't go anywhere. It just stays no matter what you do. I just set up here. I've got overflow system there, just tied so it doesn't flop over and drain too much water. And that's going back just to this little pipe that I've got down here. And then it goes into this guy. This is just like a furnace condensate pump. And it's got a float in there, so when it gets full, it automatically pumps through this tube here. I got that going up and over and down into this crazy disgusting sink, and it just spits out into there. And I've got the drip system set up, so it's just like a couple drips a second, and it goes up and over and back too, and drips in right on the back side. As you can see there, just drip, drip, drip. There's a giant ram's horn there. Yeah. So that's the 55. I've also got two 20-gallon talls down here. My son's playing with duckweed. He likes to try to grow plants. He's about 5 years old, so I just let him do whatever. So these two are getting redone today. This one here, this one is going to be set up for Cardinia shrimp. So it's got a lower pH. I think it's got fluval shrimp strat in there right now, but I've got some bright well to put in there too. And then this one is just going to be like a cherry shrimp tank. This is where those cherries are going to go. Just basically set up. I think they each have just a generic. Oh, there goes. It's pumping out the water. This thing works really good. I was worried the first couple of days I had it in there, but it works very well. Sorry about that. And then I've got over here, I got two 10-gallon tanks. These ones are just set up for, what the heck, just like a quarantine. Again, I got way too much filtration on them. Just kind of cycling some sponges. I plan on getting some more tanks to fill this out. But I built this stand about 3 months ago now and set everything up on it. And I really overdid it. I built with 4x4 posts in the corners here, and then I did cover it. With a 2x4 going all the way down, trying to carry the load. But I think it's overbuilt. It's just, it's crazy how overbuilt it is. It's, studs all the way across, but the plan is I got this one 55-gallon on top. I'm going to put another 55-gallon on that side. This bottom row here will have 6 20 gallons all the way across. I'm building another stand that'll take the 10s, possibly get some 40 breeders or 20 longs, something like that for the shrimp. I got some extra substrate here. This is what I have in most of my tanks, just the Eco Complete, and then I've got some Bright Wall there. And then I got this 30 gallon here. I'm pretty sure it's a 30 gallon. This one's just a mix. I mean, it's just a ton of guppies and algae. There's a regular bristlenose there, chocolate one or whatever you want to call it, some neon tetras that they're just kind of staying in there. But this one's got fluval shrimp strat in there too. So eventually these the tetras may stay, but all of these guppies are coming out and they're going to go into a different tank. And this tank is old. I actually need to replace this. I mean, you can see how scratched up it is. It's just bad. And that's all on the inside, so there's not really anything I can even do to buff it out. Here's something to note. These dumb little thermometers here, they don't always work the best. They kind of give you a ballpark, so you know what your tank is sitting at most of the time. I always get a couple of thermometers just to be on the safe side. So you can see that one's registering right at about 80 degrees. That one says 78.4. I mean, down here it's the same thing. I've got 2 in every tank, so 77.6, but I'm pretty sure it's closer to 80. None of these are reading true, so that says 80, but that one might be right. And same thing on here. 78.6, but I know it's right around 80 degrees. All these need to come out, but you know, whatever. I still use them. Here's another tank. This one is just, I had bought some goldfish to help cycle some tanks. I bought 10 of them. There's 1 left. And when I bought some fish, they threw in, well, not the goldfish, but you can see that tetra there. I think it's a glow light, or not a glow light, but a glowfish tetra or whatever. It's very white, doesn't have any color, but I couldn't bring myself to kill them or anything or cull them, so they're just living their life in there and, you know, doing their thing. Here's one of those nice aquatic plant combos that you get from Petco with plants in it that are definitely not aquatic, so I just kind of shoved them in there. And the root structures are just inside the tank there. Those are doing fine. This one, it's the same plants basically in this one. There's a little bit more of that dwarf hairgrass. But yeah, lots of driftwood. I like my driftwood. So every tank has driftwood in it. This one's got like, I think there's 5 pieces in here. They're just smaller pieces, and I kind of just stack them up to make something cool looking out of them. And then I've got another bucket here. This is all just ones that are soaking pieces of driftwood. Here's some RO water that I made up. These are set to 150 ppm on the TDS meter. Just kind of set up running some water or running some air through them just to keep them moving and stuff. But that's going to be water for this tank that has the shrimp strat in there, and then also this one here that's going to have a bright well in it. I make up about 15 gallons at a time, you know. And I use that salty bee there. This stuff, GHKH plus. I know I need to get just GH plus, but that fluval kind of strips out the KH anyways. So I'm just using up some of the buffering capacity, and that's okay with me. But I don't know. I feed them green beans sometimes, or lots of different weird foods, stuff that I got in just to try. I don't know. I don't really like these things come in a little package like that. I mean, what do you do with that? Do you just throw it on a shelf somewhere and lose it? This stuff here, this Bacter AE from Glass Garden, that stuff is awesome. The shrimp go just crazy for it. Actually, even the fish. I put it in all my tanks every once in a while just to build up some more whatever stuff for the fish and shrimp to eat. But that'll do for now. Welcome to the fish room. There'll be more videos coming out. Thanks.